Hello and welcome to the Stress Mastery Podcast. I am your host, Peggy Romero, and I thank you so much for joining me today. I just love doing the Saturday podcast, so thanks for supporting me. I'm hoping that this is helping you. So this week we've been talking about cohesion. The definition of cohesion, loosely, is the action or fact of forming a united whole. The Latin, it was called cleaved together, or a pattern of adhesion. So that's unity, right? All together as one, united. Well, herein lies the problem with our lives if we're not living head, heart, and hand. They're not united. If we can't understand the function and operation of the human being so that we can use it to create the life that we truly desire, then we're falling short. So we all have dreams and visions. We all have a purpose. We all have this spark, this intention, this desire of what we want to be, who we really could be. We all have something that we want to do, deep down inside. It can be something little or something big. It's different for all of us. It could be having better relationships, having a better relationship with your kids, or earning $1 million, or having a big house. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's creating a shift in the planet. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have it. I have it, and so do you. So we were all created for a purpose. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we've got it. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to live your life in disharmony like you probably have been? The problem is that once you have the spark, that idea, I call it your heart's desire, it's never going to go away. It's like a fire that's not going to be put out until you actually move it to fruition. So if you don't do anything about it, eventually I think you just end up being an old person living in regret because you didn't do what you always knew you were supposed to do. Because you're going against your very being, like your soul. It's so important to be the person that God created us to be. There's like no other way for fulfillment. So I had known for about 30 years that I was supposed to write a book. I had an idea, well-formed. I knew what it was. I knew what it looked like, and it never stopped popping up in my head. I was busy. I had kids and all kinds of reasons why I didn't do it, but it was in my heart. It was in my spirit. So, of course, now I've published that book, and I'm working on a workbook, and I have a bunch of other book ideas. I want to write a cozy Christmas romance series, which I think would be fun. But you know what I'm saying. So maybe you have a book idea, or maybe it's high time that you start that new business, or get the new job, or build the house on the lake. I mean, we all have something. You can actually do it if you try. We all have potential, but this potential is pointless if it's never met. How about this? Instead of living with potential, begin to live up to the potential. You know that potential that you have stirring inside of you? It's right there. And you've been holding it back for so long. Come on, you know it's there. Potential inside you, it's dying to come out. That dream, that gift, that talent. They say that public speaking is the greatest fear of people, which is really true for me too. I'm not real comfortable with public speaking yet. I'm working on it. But it's not my greatest fear. No, my greatest fear is not having the guts to walk into my purpose and be who God wanted me to be. I mean, doesn't that seem more scary to you? I don't care where you come from or what cards you've been dealt. It doesn't matter what's happened in your past or what's going on in your life right now. You have a purpose. You're not here on accident. You've been put here for a reason. And we've all heard that we've been set apart. We're set apart to do great things. I think most people understand that there's a plan in your life because I think that we can feel it deep down. Or maybe you hear it and you can even feel it, but you still actually don't believe it. But you've got a vision for your life. I know you do. I'm not the only person who has it. And I think that most of the reason that people don't follow through is because they're scared. We're all fearful. We have a fear of failure. We have a fear of success. We have a fear that we'll lose our friends or our family, or people just won't like us if we tell them that we really want to do this or that, or decide to pursue our dreams. So we allow ourselves to dream according to what other people think that we should do. What they want from us. It's ridiculous. It doesn't work. Still, we set our goals and make New Year's resolutions, and then we make these beautiful vision boards, and then we stick them in the closet and forget all about them. And then next year we have the same goals again. It's crazy. I mean, and I know that change is hard. I get it. But we can't forget about our goals and our dreams. Easier said than done, right? Yeah, it is. It's all easier said than done. Of course, saying things is easy. It's easier to say, hey, I want to have a really delicious dinner and sit in my nice clean house tonight. But then you have to get up and clean the house and make the dinner, right? Yeah, easier said than done. So change isn't easy. And especially since we've learned from Stress Mastery that we're designed not to change. No one ever said it was going to be easy. We're designed to stay exactly the same way, stuck in our stinking comfort zone, which, by the way, we all know is not very comfortable at all. But when you don't have unity, head, heart, and hand, that's really uncomfortable too. So I know that making a change is easier than living the same day over and over. I'm telling you that from personal experience. So when I get stuck in the doldrums, it doesn't even really have to be the doldrums, just getting stuck, procrastination, or not having focus, or doing nothing. It kind of feels like I'm falling short. I mean, there's a disconnect. So that's not cohesive behavior. There's not unity, head, heart, and hand with my integrity of behavior. I'm like going against myself. So if you're going to live a life of cohesion, all five life categories are going to have to be cohesive. You have to set your mind and keep it set, connected to your heart. As Bill says, put your light up on the mountain. When your light is up there, you don't fall. And when you do, you get back up. And remember, I always say, everybody says it, it doesn't matter how many times you fall. You just have to keep getting back up. That light will pull you up like a magnet if it's connected to your heart, if it's connected to your purpose. So you have to start just one day, just 1 second to make the decision. That's all it takes. Make the decision to become selfish with a capital S. What do you want? So I say this sometimes after procrastinating for a while. So I'll use my book for an example. I had all but finished my book. I just went through it in a few months, just boom, 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 boom. But then I got diverticulitis and I was hospitalized for a month. I mean, I was really sick. I sprang back out of that as quick as I could. But then I realized, wow, my marriage is really in a shambles. It kind of changed the way I saw my life. And then right after that, before I could even square that away in my head and my heart, COVID came. Then I ended up getting a divorce. And so I kept on putting my book off. And of course, a lot of that was fear. I mean, I was going through a lot, but I was completely out of my comfort zone writing that book. And then I had also lost my flow. I'd been, going along. I hadn't picked up that book in about a year. But once I did, boom. It only took a second. Actually, I just hopped back on. I started typing. It probably took me about 3 weeks from the time I read back through it, figured out what I wanted to say, and got it sent to my publisher. Honestly. So I say that the book took me a year and a half plus 3 weeks. So I've done that lots of times in my life. If I would have just done it, I would have been done. But I left it sitting there, and then it only took me a minute to finish. So I could have made my life a lot easier if I would have done it, because I would have had cohesion. I wouldn't have had to, been pulling on my heartstrings constantly because I knew I was procrastinating. You know how it's like a monkey on your back? You just have to deal with the monkey, I guess, because it's not going to quit bugging you until you do. So don't procrastinate. So I don't think that you'd be listening to this podcast or involved in Stress Mastery at all if you didn't have places to go and things to do and goals to meet. So you've got it in you. You've got vision and there's potential. That's what I was talking about. So much potential. And remember, if you're listening to this podcast, you have plenty of help and plenty of tools at your disposal. Ready? It's just, I don't even know how to tell you that if you just start working on it, the things are here because it's your plan, it's your purpose, it's what you're meant for. So there's plenty of things that are just going to open up to make your journey easier. And you don't have to do it yourself because you've got us. If your spouse doesn't support you, it's okay. You've got us. Even if you're single, don't have a spouse, and don't have any friends, you've got us. And I can tell you, we'll support you. We love you. All of us at Stress Mastery really do want to create a shift in the planet. for each person that raises their own vibration, then we're putting a higher vibration out in the world, and that raises the vibration of every other person we meet. And then those people go out and raise the vibration of another person, and it goes on and on. I mean, I love it. We really can create a shift in the planet. And by making our own life better, we're making the lives of other people better. I mean, my gosh, once I understood that, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I can be a part of that. And you can be a part of it too. It starts with you, as a matter of fact. Who are you going to be in 1 year from now? So this is April 2023. What does your life look like for April 2024? I mean, get ready for it. Imagine it. Believe it. This is why doing the Green Focus Power Hour is so effective. It cracks me up because I talk to a lot of people about this because I really do think it changes your life. And they'll tell me that they don't have time to do it. It's like, believe me, people, you can't afford not to do it. It totally sets your day for success. Day by day, you set your whole life for success, one day at a time. It's amazing. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'd be going out with no clothes on if I didn't do my Green Focus Power Hour first. I'd be completely like, what's happening? So Bill talked about it on the podcast earlier this week, that each of the 6 10-minute exercises are very effective and very important. But I'm telling you guys, if you'll start doing visualization, affirmation, and meditation, your whole life will completely change. And I mean change for the better. So you have to be able to imagine your life in unity, unified, cohesive, all 5 life categories, where you're thinking with your head, feeling it in your heart, and then actually doing it. It all goes together. This is amazing because you really can become the person that you want to be. That person that you envision, that's you. I mean, isn't that so cool? But you have to imagine it. If you can connect to your heart, to your creation mind, then you can create it. And you have to believe it. And you may as well believe it because I'm telling you it's true. It's true for me and it's true for you. It's true for all of us. This is the way we're made. So if we stay the same today as we were yesterday and the day before that, and last year and last month, we're going to continue to feel disconnected. If we will become the person that we were created to be, connected to our purpose, we will begin to feel fantastic. In fact, we'll feel whole, perfect, powerful and strong, loving, harmonious and happy, successful and peaceful. Isn't that the life you want? Cohesive, united? Or do you really want to continue feeling disconnected and divided? I mean, I'm telling you, the choice is totally yours. You're already stuffing down your dreams, and you know that it doesn't make you feel good. So why would you keep on doing that? I hope that you'll make a decision today, because all you have to do is make a decision. And now is a really great time for a change, if you ask me. I mean, right now, you could put your best foot forward. Right now, you could sit down and connect to your true self and ask God to help you and connect with the whole world and picture your life as you want it to be. Right now, you could go to the Stress Mastery community, start working on the exercises that Bill and David have in there. They're fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, the people in the community are great. They're all people, we're all in there working on ourselves, so you don't even have to go it alone. Your life will change for the better just by taking a few simple steps. And you don't have to do everything at once. Just do one thing at a time. And I do hope that you want to join the community. But if you don't, continue listening to the podcast. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you know about the fantastic 7 steps of stress mastery. I mean, life-changing. Between that and Green Focus Power Hour, wow, you've got it. You can live a cohesive life, live the life that you've always wanted, live your vision, live your purpose, live your dreams. Honestly. And cohesion feels so much better than disconnect. Well, that's it for today's podcast. And I thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. Please follow me at PeggyWithPurpose. Check out my website at PeggyRomero.com, and you can email me there or at Peggy@livingrightwithBillCourtright.com. As you guys know, our mission here is to create a shift in the planet, and I hope that you'll join us on that mission. Just simply like, share, and subscribe. The links are right below the show notes. As always, until next time, Stay inspired.